So, welcome to Coffee and a Chat. It's another day, another chat, another about 20 more cups of coffee. I don't know. Actually, today I'm going to focus more on herbal tea because seasons are changing. There's a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, it's time to put just a little extra boost for my immune system, I think. But anyway, today I want to talk about when the day doesn't quite go like you had planned. We had one of those days yesterday, Marvin and I did. So, first off, we had a hard time getting out of bed. And I think when we go into fall and then it will hit it again as we go into winter, the days are getting shorter and the temperatures are going down. And we always, seems like we kind of have that struggle of being able to get up and be bright-eyed. That seems to work better in the spring and the summer. So we were already struggling, just the whole getting out of bed. And we were sitting and planning out what we were going to do for the day. And one of the funny things was we had put on a YouTube video that was one of those compilations of all the wacky, when things go wrong and, the tree is supposed to fall this way, but it went that way. And, and the dog, slipped into the pool and went swimming and, and I don't know. Just all kinds of, mishaps that were supposed to be fun. Cause some of those things, they kind of worry me a little. Cause I'm like, are you sure somebody didn't get hurt? Like there was one where a dog ran off with fireworks, and then the fireworks started to explode, and they're going, no animals were hurt in the making of this video, but they didn't show me the dog again. So I'm kind of like, a little stressed about that. Is the dog okay? But anyway, we had just watched one of those videos, and we figured out, okay, here's what we're going to do. And, and getting everything planned out, and we'll leave in about an hour to go do this job that we were going to go do. And so, anyway, and so Marvin goes, I want a cup of tea. And we give each other a hard time all the time. There is laughter in this house, like all the time. And so I'm just like, well, good. There's the kitchen. Go get a cup of tea. And he's like, well, So I'm like, fine, I'll get you your cup of tea. So I went into the kitchen and I got the tea kettle and I needed to put some more water in it. So I went over to the sink, turned the water on, and the handle blew up into the air out of my hand and was followed by high pressure, large fountain of water gushing up into the air and hitting like everything, flooding the kitchen. And so, okay, if Marvin hadn't have been here, then I'd have to be that tough gal that, would get under the sink and turn the handle. But, there's a guy here, so I can be a girl, right? So I just start, in total female form, which usually drives me nuts. I just start going, help, help. So he runs in there, what? And then we've got a flood going on and water shooting up into the air. And he's like, oh, he gets under the sink, he turns it off. The water thing, the shut off valve to the water. And the fountain stops, and then he gets up and off the floor. He can still do that. I can't do that so good. And he, and so then he starts going, joking with me about, why are you in here breaking things? Why did you wrench so hard on that handle? And I'm like, I didn't wrench hard on that handle. And I go, why do you want a cup of tea? That's the problem. And so we ended up just kind of laughing and, and I'm grabbing towels and he's, going, well, I guess the plans have changed for today, and he's taken the faucet off, and and then I had to, I don't know if you've ever had to change a faucet, but there is some really grody stuff underneath there. Depending on how long that faucet's been there is how bad it is. So then I'm like, cleaning that and trying to get that all ready, and so then he's like, well, I guess we're going to go to the store to get a new faucet. So off we went, we're laughing and talking and just, whatever, and giving each other a hard time and going, well, what we were going to do today, I guess we'll be doing that on another day, because this suddenly has become the top of the priority list, because not having water in your kitchen, oh yeah, that doesn't work very good, at least not for me. So we went and we got the faucet. No, we even remembered some other things we needed while we were there. So, it turned out good. Got all our stuff, and we came home, and and he's putting the faucet on, and I'm trying to fix him some lunch, and so eventually the faucet's on, and hey, there was a little blessing in that, because this is a much better faucet than what came off, because we already had to replace this faucet once. The original one was like 20 years old, and then I can't remember what happened to, I can't remember, but it fell apart too. And so we took it off, and then we went and got a faucet. But when we got it, we forgot, because we had one of those sprayers, and we forgot to make sure we were getting one that had a sprayer. And we didn't get one because we're just trying to get, the cheapest thing we could get. And we didn't think about that. And so this time I said, let's remember, that we can have a sprayer. And because I kind of missed the sprayer, because it's only, this faucet that just blew up was only like maybe 7 years old. And nothing's made to last anymore. They want us to quit putting things in the landfill, but they keep fixing or making things that are disposable. So I don't know. So anyway, this time, we didn't spend a lot of money. Again, I think it was the least expensive one with the sprayer, but it's nice, and it sits higher than the other one did, so I can get my big pots and stuff under it a lot easier when I'm washing. So I like it. I'm glad the other one blew up. But anyway, we get everything done, and I'm like looking at the clock, and I'm like, how did it suddenly get to be 1:30 in the afternoon? And then it was 2:30, and and I think it was 3 o'clock before we actually were able to go and try and do anything else that we might have tried to get done yesterday. And just because things take time, right? But it occurred to me that things were different than maybe what they've been before. For me, and I was sure they were for Marvin too. So I went and I told him, I go, I want to tell you thank you for something. And he's like, what? For what? And I go, well, I mean, there's always, that you fix things around here when they break, and, and that you can even, know how to do it, is a huge blessing to me. But I go, you never got mad. You never let it put you in a bad mood. You just laughed and joked about it. And I go, and I never got in a bad mood, and I never got mad. I just laughed and joked about it. And I want to thank you for doing that, because, see, I know in my life, in the past, there are many times, usually I would get really upset, frustrated. This ruined my day. What am I going to do now? And the whole day would be set off kilter. But I didn't do that. And you didn't do that. And I'll bet you used to. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, back in the day, I would have just been really, really mad and angry, and, and it ruined my day. And he goes, absolutely, would throw the whole day off. And I go, but we didn't do that. Neither one of us. And I'm thankful. And I know it's because, we're growing and maturing in the Lord, and we're learning that there's a lot of things that we make too big of a deal out of, and they're just stuff that happened. And I said, that maybe happened because the enemy wanted to try and ruin our day today, because that used to work. But it didn't work today. So if that's what was going on, I guess we ruined his day, and I'd much rather do that. So, but it reminded me, my great-grandmother Neufeld and my grandma Ediger, who was her daughter, my great-grandma Neufeld, I can remember her telling me, because we were talking about some things in her life, and she went through some hard things in her life, and she buried half of her children before they were, the age of 12, I think, from dying from things like the flu or whatever. And, she suffered a lot of loss. And I can't even imagine how you would do it, because she had 8 or 9 kids, and only 4 actually lived to become adults. And these weren't like that they died as babies, or it was a miscarriage or anything. I mean, these were children that were growing up and having lives, and then they didn't. And so she had told me, she goes, Angie, what I've learned is I can't always choose the circumstances of my life, but I can choose my attitude in them. And it's way better going through trusting God, praising God, thanking God, than it is being bitter and angry and sorrowful. And, not that she didn't have sorrow when she lost her children. She did, but she kept her faith strong in the Lord. And she knew he's going to carry me through this. My children are safe with him. And we're going to go on. Life is going to go on, and we're going to find a way. You just find your new normal. And my grandmother, her daughter, she lived well into her 90s, and she pretty much died of old age. She was having little strokes and stuff, but that's, as I remember, it was just basically she finally got old, and it was her time, and she died. But she really struggled with the fact that she was still here, because she was ready to go, and she ended up being completely bedridden, and she'd been very active, and she had other things in life that I'll probably do one of our coffee and the chats about the time that she told me how she was mad at God. And I was in shock that my little missionary grandma would ever have been mad at God, but she was, and she was mad at him because he made her a girl. And yeah, that was we pulled an all-nighter. I was married, had 3 kids, and she had come and spent the night at our house, and instead of sleeping, Grandma and I stayed up all night long, and we just talked about stuff, and it was the coolest thing. But anyway, she had told me too, my mama always taught me I can't always choose the circumstances of my life, what happens in life, but I can choose my attitude. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. Maybe you're having a struggle today. Maybe things aren't going the way you wanted them to. And if it's not happening today, it's going to happen another day, because it happens, doesn't it? And I want to be more conscious of that too, to always do it like I did it yesterday, and not like I used to do it, 10 years ago. That it's a faucet, and God knew it was going to happen. And what we had planned, maybe there was a reason we weren't supposed to be where we had planned to go. He might have been protecting us. I mean, there's so much that, we don't know. There's a lot of things going on around us that we are totally unaware of, but God isn't. And that's one of the many, many benefits of being a follower of Christ, is that he's watching out for me. He's got my back. So he's got your back too. He does. If you're a follower of Jesus, you can be assured that he's got your back, and he's watching out for your best good. So just wanted to share that with you guys today. And I wanted to take a minute to just kind of hang out with you, because I really like doing that. I do. It's a lot of fun. It brings me great joy. It gives me a sense of purpose too. So I thank you guys, especially those that keep giving me encouragement. I don't need you to brag on me or anything like that, but when I hear that something made a difference in your life, that means something. And I need to hear that, because trust me, I don't give time to it. I don't talk about it, but it's pretty amazing how quick the really mean people show up and start wanting to say really mean things to you. So I know, I think it was Gail that I said something about somebody saying something mean, and she goes, oh, people say mean things to you, and on YouTube? Yes, they do. But whatever, it's okay, because some people, that's just, I guess they're not happy unless they're trying to make somebody else unhappy. But I don't got time for it. I don't have time for it to get me down. I don't have time for it to slow me up or hold me back. So full steam ahead. Every day I've got left of my life, I am focused on making it count for the Lord. All right. I love you guys. I hope that everything is going well in your lives. Again, I keep getting people saying, how can we help you with your channel? And again, subscribe. Getting subscribers helps my channel. People hitting the like helps my channel. People sharing the videos helps my channel. And watching those videos all the way through helps my channel, because there's all these different things that YouTube keeps track of. And the more you have of those things, the more they'll help promote you and put your videos, move them up to be recommended. And the majority of you that watch my videos are because you found a recommendation. I showed up in your feed one day and you're like, I don't know this person. I don't know what she's doing here. And probably a bunch of people clicked on it and said, yeah, that ain't my thing. And, and clicked off. But some of you guys clicked on and said, hey, and you stayed. And I'm so happy to have you in my life. And any way that God can use me in your life, that's what it's all about. So subscribe, like, share. Yeah. I love you guys. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. I promise. I'll be right here.